Hey guys, welcome back to Rogue Duelist channel. On this episode, we're going to do another deep dive and have a discussion on an upcoming set. And this is actually going to be a deck building set that is coming out in April, which is Secret Slayers. So we're actually going to do something a little bit different, and it might be something that we will adopt for future set discussions. I went ahead and developed a first draft of a risk model. And the risk model is essentially whether or not there is high risk to get our money back from the set and profit, or if it is low risk, which is we will be able to make our money back and we should be able to profit very easily. Now, before I dive into that model, I want to talk a little bit first about the set. So this set is a deck building set, and there are 3 different archetypes or support that's going to be coming that's been leaked so far from the OCG. One, it is Adamantia, rock type support, and then we also have some plant and we have some zombie support. I'm not going to get into the detail as to what those cards entail. I'm going to go more into an analysis from a market perspective and from an investment perspective as to whether or not there is enough evidence for us to be investing our money into this set and profit. Before we get into the analysis, like this video, comment down below, subscribe and hit the notification bell. I can anticipate there to be further drafts of this model in the future. I would love to get your comments and feedback. Also, is there anything that I'm going to be missing from this set as I go through the analysis and as we have this discussion, as I help you guys determine whether or not there is enough value for you to be spending your money and investing in this set. All right, let's get into the analysis. As you can see, this model has different line items to kind of help figure out what is the overall value for this set. I want to explain what each of these items mean. So we have about 9 different items here. And each one of these items is essentially a KPI, which is a key performance indicator. And basically what a KPI is something for us to go off of and be able to score and value for the overall model. Each one of these is weighted differently, and the higher the weight, the more that particular score will go towards the overall score. So you'll see it kind of scales down, and that's because things like current card support, buyouts, or customer hype on social media, those are things that are observable that we can actually go and look at and see if there is some evidence for that. Things like multiple chase cards, it is something that you kind of have to guess as to whether or not people are going to be buying it, because people aren't buying it until they're buying it. So you have to make some very strong guesstimates as to whether or not that's going to happen. So that's just to kind of explain how this goes down. So that's essentially it. You can see that I've already put some scores in here, and I want to kind of go and explain in this video why I think Secret Slayers is scoring in all of these different categories. So what you can see here in the scoring is 5 is very high, 4 is high, 3 is medium, 2 is low, and 1 is very low. So that's just the criteria that we're using to go and score each of these categories. Now you'll see here the overall score percentage. That's basically what the score is divided by 5, because 5 is the best score you can get. So because this was scored of 5, it got 100%. And then you can kind of see it taper down. Like over here, reprint value has a 1. So that would just be 1 divided by 5, which is a 20%. And then you take a weighted score. So the weighted score is going to be whatever the actual score is multiplied by the weight. So the things that have higher weight are going to have more value in the overall score of the set, and the things that have lower scores, even though it may be scored a 5, it's only putting 5% into the overall score. So hopefully all of that makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and explain why I scored what I scored. So if you look here, current card support, buyouts, and value. As I mentioned already, there's support coming for rock types, plant, and zombie. And the one that has most promise, I would say, is the rock type. Rock type has a new archetype coming called Adamantia. It actually has a significant amount of meta relevance from how the set looks. I'm not going to go into the detail of what it does, but there's a ton of reoccurrence, a lot of excavation that goes into the deck where you can go and reorder cards in your deck and basically kind of manipulate the game state so that you can go and pull off all of your combos. So looking at this specifically for the topic of current card support buyout value, you have to consider cards that are currently in the marketplace, such as Gallant Granite. Gallant Granite was in Chaos Impact and is a Xyz monster. So I'm looking at Card Market right now, which is essentially the European TCG player. Gallant Granite is a really good card. Basically can search any rock monster in your deck when you can get him Xyz summoned onto the field. And it's interesting to see this because he was a like €1 card or $1 card, and the reason why I'm using Card Market because I really like the graphs that they show for how the price has changed in time. And you can see that at about the point of where the Adamantia archetype was announced, he skyrocketed up, and he went from about €196 to $339, so it almost doubled its price overnight. And then you can see it starts to taper down, go up, and it's kind of found a new market price in the marketplace. So I would say that's very strong evidence that there is promise coming, because people are already going and buying out support cards that are going to be useful for Adamantia, and because of that, you would assume that they're going to be purchasing those cards when it comes out in Secret Slayers. So that gives me the impression that it's a good buy, there's good value in it, there's a demand for the cards. So this is a good indicator that the set has promise. So you can see this print of Block Dragon, he went from about €5 to about 9 overnight as well. So it looks like there's some buyouts that were going on during the leak of the Adamantia archetype. So again, this is showing a lot of promise for that archetype within that set, which means there is value in that set. So that's why I scored a 5 here, largely because you're seeing the buyouts. I think there's a lot of promise. Now going here, looking at consumer hype on social media, I really enjoy House of Champs. The Yugi tuber is John, and he does market watches, and he also does some discussions on new sets that are coming and their leaks. When the Adamantia archetype leaked, he went and did a discussion on it. He actually gave it a lot of hype in his video. And if you go and scroll down in the comments, you can see a lot of people basically agreeing with him. There's people saying like, oh, I love this archetype gameplay and art. I feel like there might be some weird FTKs in the future with this. Yo, this looks insane. Finally, some good rock support. Consistency. It's nice that you can recycle Nibiru now. I mean, if you scroll through this, you're gonna see a lot of the same type of comments. And now I'm not gonna show Facebook group that I'm part of because it's a private group, but I would say it's a lot of the same type of conversation that's going on, is that this is a really great up-and-coming deck. So now with this being something that we were able to observe, and you see that there's actually a lot of hype around it, decided to score that as a 5 as well. Now, multiple chase cards, this is kind of hard because we only have leaks for a lot of the zombie cards that came out, the Adamantia archetype, and we have one leak on the plant Xyz monster that is coming out as well. I mean, honestly, I'm really banking on that rock archetype that's in Secret Slayers. I mean, if it's something that really is going to be meta relevant and it's something that people are actually going to go after, and there's already buyouts that are showing it, there's already a lot of hype around it, I would imagine that a lot of people are going to be chasing after the core of that archetype inside Secret Slayers. So a lot of people are going to be going after that. And honestly, zombies are something that people love as well. Plants are something that people are very excited about. I think, and even though we don't have the full set release, there's going to be a lot of cards that people are going to be chasing after. With the higher the demand is, the more value the cards are going to be. And even if some of the cards are worth $5, $4, but they're core to the deck, people are going to need 3 of it. I'm counting this as a 4. Because we don't have a lot of information yet. The main chase cards are going to be the boss monsters in those decks, and you're going to assume there's going to be at least 3-4 boss monsters, and there could be some other chase cards that we don't even know exist yet. So I'm putting that as a 4 just to be a little conservative. Meta relevant now, I think there's a lot of meta relevance for the things that I explained. Again, go look into the deck, see for yourself. I mean, the main boss monster can essentially bounce 5 cards on your opponent's field back to the hand. It's pretty crazy. If not anything, it will be in a really strong rogue category, so people are going to pick it up. So I'm putting that as a 5. Product value versus cost. This set has 40 supers, 20 secrets, no commons, no ultras. Because this set is strictly foiled cards, supers and secrets, I feel there's a lot of value in that. And you're buying a case for the same price that any other case would cost. You're getting 24 packs per booster. You're getting about 5 cards per pack, but because they're all hollowed out, I feel there's a lot of value in that. I feel that's better than any of your typical sets where you're getting commons and you're getting supers with the chances of getting secrets and ultras. I think it's more consistent, which I feel will have more value in the long term. I think it's better than certain things like, let's just say dual power. Although you're getting all ultra rare cards out of those packs, you're paying $30 to get a box of 6 packs. So you're getting a lot less cards for the money you're spending, even though they're all hollowed out. It's more money per card, even without knowing what they are. So you really have to bank that you're gonna pull really well so you can pay off that box fairly quickly. So in this, because you're getting a booster of 24 packs and they're all hollowed out, I feel there's value in that. I went ahead and I put that as a 4. Now something that I would probably put as a 5, if you look at something like the Shed All Structure deck, you're getting a lot of really good reprints inside of that deck, and it's only for $10. So you're getting set cards that you know you're gonna get, and you know there's a lot of value in them already. So that would be an example of something that would be a 5. Now, collector's value, fan favorite, anime support. I put this as a medium. A lot of people really like zombies. A lot of people are interested in plant. I think a lot of people are excited that rock is actually becoming a thing. But there really isn't any anime support. I don't know if anything is really a fan favorite necessarily. I'm putting this as a medium because I think there's a lot of potential in it, and this could grow into be something that's archetypes that are fan favorites. So I'm calling it a 3. Reprint value and rarity bumps. Now, are there any reprints coming in the set? We don't know. That hasn't been released yet, and honestly right now if you're going to be investing in doing a pre-order, you have to go based on the information that you have today, and you can't make assumptions there's going to be really great reprints in there. So with that in mind, I'm putting a 1, the very lowest score, because we really just don't know. Influencer hype. John Simo has also done some videos. There's some other YouTubers out there that have done some videos on the Automatia archetype. And they've also done some videos on the zombie archetype, which people were a little more underwhelmed for, but people were very, very excited for this rock archetype. I would say because of the hype that are coming from these influencers, I'm putting that as a 5. Now, meta relevance with future potential. Now, when a set's coming out and there's meta relevance already for current game state, I mean, that's immediately going to say that meta relevance in the future is also going to be a 5. With my scoring methodology, with this model, and with what I thought the scores were for this set, I have an 83% for Secret Slayers. So 83% I feel is very strong. I think anything that is probably above a 70% is something that you should be considering investing in. Something obviously in a 90% is probably buy as many cases as you can. So for this example of Secret Slayers, I feel there's a lot of promise in it. I feel the Automatia archetype is actually going to hold up this set pretty well. So I am actually going to go and invest in a case for a little under $700, 12 boxes of 24 packs. And I believe that there is going to be a return on this. I'd say 83%. There's still a little bit of risk, but that's a very high score. I don't think anything's going to score perfectly. I think there are probably some sets that if we did reviews on, we'd probably see something hit the 90 mark, but I think 83% is very strong. What do you guys think? Does this model make sense to you? Is there anything that you would change? Is there anything that you would have scored differently that I scored? Please let me know down in the comments below. I'm happy to preface in one of my next videos, kind of taking in some feedback that you guys have, maybe adjusting some of this and seeing where the score lays out. Secret Slayers is actually going to be out in stores on April 2nd, 2020. Now is about the time to pre-order. You probably don't want to pre-order any later than end of February if you guys are interested in picking up this set. So thank you guys for your time. We will do a box opening on this when we get the set in early April. And if you guys haven't seen my Eternity Code video that I posted last week on a set discussion, go and take a look at that. Let me know if this was helpful for you guys. I would really love your feedback. Thanks for joining this discussion and can't wait to see you guys again. Hope you have a good one.